We interrupt this program to bring you a special news bulletin.
Interrupt this broadcast to bring you this important bulletin from the United Press. Bring you this important bulletin from the United Press.
This is not a test. Every Tuesday, the Journey into Comics Network will bring you The Poor Rapport, your one-stop podcast shop for everything news and topics of personal interest. I am your host, Andrew Poor, and you can hear me every Tuesday.
The following is a Journey into Comics Network production.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Journey into Comics, the podcast about everything nerd, with your hosts, Nate Phillips and Brandon Stone.
We've come a long way from the Prime Minister's exploding cake. Or have we?
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Journey into Comics. It's episode 177. I am your host, Nate. Today, joining me, as always, the Proto-Man to my Mega Man. What's up, Brando? Does that make sense? That doesn't make sense. Your face immediately said, what? That doesn't make sense.
It's fine. It's fine. Okay. It's an awesome, at least you didn't call me Rocket, so there.
Yeah, and I also didn't want to be Dr. Wily. That didn't make sense, because he's the bad guy.
Yeah, Dr. Light, but you could have been Trombone.
I don't think I know who that is, maybe, because
Mega
I don't
Man
really
Legends
get down.
era. The Misadventures of Trombone is like one of the... It's a pretty rare PS1 game. I think it goes for like upwards in the 100 and somethings.
Wow!
Just for that one, yeah, for a used, opened copy.
Holy
I've only
shit.
ever seen one copy since I've ever been collecting, and it was like, it's like when you see something and you're like, I would buy you, but at the same time, it's like, why would I even buy you?
That's like that game. You know what? You showed me a game at the disc replay up here by me many moons ago on an earlier episode of JIC for NES. It was like a $259 fucking game or some shit. I don't remember what it was called.
I saw one down here in my neck.
Maybe it was down there. Sure.
And it was for $5.99.
Maybe. Was it NES?
Yes, Little Samson.
Yes, it was. Little Samson. Thank you. I knew as soon as you said it, I would know.
Little Samson, I don't know what she goes for now, but I'm going to find out.
It's crazy.
I got an app
we got
that
a lot
allows me to do that.
Yeah, are you still using Game Eye?
Yes, I am. I absolutely love Game Eye.
Me too. It's great. It updates and stuff. It's nice.
Okay, so yeah, it's a little bit more expensive now.
Oh Jesus, more than $5.99?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm gonna guess $6.75.
$1,029.
Holy shit, man! How many? Okay, I want to. Let's try to math this now, Brando. What was the original manufacturer retail suggested price for a Nintendo system when they first came out?
Like for the
That's
full
the first
system
thing
or a game?
For the system. There's a reason, I promise.
Okay.
There's a reason.
NES
Because the games were like 60.
price in 89 or 85.
Yeah.
The deluxe set, retailing at $179, included Rob, the light gun, and 2 controllers, and 2 game packs, Jeremiah and Duck Hunt. The basic set, with no game, was $89.99, so it's not bad, and $100 with bundled with Super Mario Brothers. Okay, so $100 with Super Mario Bros.
Okay, so you could buy 10 original NESs with Super Mario Bros. For the price of one Samson now, if you could go back in time with that money. That's crazy. And man, $1,000 now translated back then is way the fuck more money with inflation, I think.
Okay, so in 1990, the average game cost for the NES was about $50.
Okay.
So that's about, in 2013, that was about $89. And then, of course, the N64, those games are about $70. Man, I can't believe those are about $70 because if I remember correctly, PS1 games were like $40.
Yeah, that's why that was a weird generation, Brando. I remember I remember Nintendo 64 games being the $70, and I think that like Pokemon Stadium was $89, maybe, because it came with the Rumble Pack, and of course I had to have it because I was a huge Pokemon nut. So, by the way, I'm not even mentioned it on the show because maybe it wasn't even worth mentioning, but months and months and months ago, I quit Pokemon Go. I haven't played for months and months. Yeah.
Gasp.
Done. I quit. I quit cold turkey. You know what did it for me, Brando, is exactly this little story I'll tell you here that's completely out of time and space. I don't know why we're bringing it up, but let's go there. I went to my first, you have to go a place and do a big public raid to attempt to get an Articuno. We defeated the Articuno. Everybody there caught the Articuno. My game fucking glitched, and I did not get to catch the Articuno. And I literally, walking away from that situation, uninstalled that stupid fucking game forever. All I wanted was to catch legendary birds, dude. All I wanted to do was get my original 151 Pokemon and call it a day, bro. And they fucking ruined it.
You had a sad fleck moment.
Yeah.
You're driving alone in your car back home to the sounds of silence.
An utter failure.
With a single Sinead O'Connor tear falling down your face.
I mean, Brandon, you got to think about it, dude. No, we didn't just fight this legendary raid boss. We defeated the Articuno, and I didn't know a lot of people. There was maybe 10 of us or whatever. And we did it, and it was great, and I felt awesome and totally accomplished. And it's bonus round, time to actually catch this motherfucker. Nope, the game literally just glitched down on me and wouldn't let me go back to it, and I could never get back to Articuno to attempt to catch it. Game over. So, yeah, folks, fuck that game.com. How's it going, Brando? Welcome to this week's show, Journey into Comics.
Oh, man, it's going really, really good here. There's a lot of stuff not really going on right now. We got things that are coming down the line to talk about. We don't really have a lot of stuff that is out right now to talk about, if that makes any sense.
We're all talking about the hype train right now. Everything we're discussing now is just hype because nothing is really happening.
The hype train of our existence.
Oh my God, that is the episode title. Hype train of our existence for the win. That's amazing, Brando. So glad you named our episode so early today. Yes. But it's weird because we are in the hype mode. There's not a lot of shit that's going on. We're just now into February here. Welcome to the second month of 2018. Hopefully it's better than the first month of 2018 for you all. But, it's strange because you think about all the movies coming out. And you think about all the past movies that have come out that we've covered on this show. And there's always something to talk about. And I feel like without meaning to, we've jumped on to kind of the Marvel train, but it's just always interesting news to cover. And I feel like without meaning to, a lot of times we're like, hey, look, this Marvel news, it's actually uplifting and positive and yay, Marvel. And then DC news is oh, this is getting really bad scores, or oh, the audience didn't really resonate with BVS, or oh, you need a 3-hour extended edition of your film to make the movie make sense because you totally didn't know how to fucking edit your movie. So right now I'm filling the time with a lot of words and not really saying a lot of anything. Mainly because we have
I'm filling a bunch of time with words to make this episode last longer because I'm not really saying any. I'm not actually. You know what? In fact, this topic today was actually all about how much, as a young boy, I always wanted to be a Pepper 2.
You wanted to be a what?
A Pepper 2.
I don't know what that is. A Pepper 2.
Dr. Pepper.
Oh, okay.
Don't you want to be a Pepper 2?
Oh, I got you.
I'm a Pepper. He's a Pepper. She's a Pepper. Dude, a Pepper. I'm a dude. He's a dude. She's a dude. Because we're all dudes.
We're all dudes.
I just think it'd be funny if you went on that long diatribe and then just what you what you wanted to talk about was not at all. And I had to do anything about that.
We could have totally done that. I could have totally tangented the show 100% away from everything. However, a lot of stuff to cover today, Brando. Breaking news that is old news now, but hopefully there's no news on this topic by the time Monday actually comes around. But as we record this on Friday, yesterday, Stan Lee went to the hospital. Irregular heartbeat, some complications, some shit got really twitchy with him. He was having some trouble breathing.
He's 95. If he's not twitching, he's probably not alive.
That is true. He is 95. Hopefully he can live to 100. It's just crazy to see that, like, actual scare of, like, holy shit, Stan Lee rushed to the hospital. Who knows what's going to happen? Of course, he comes out of the hospital the same night, and I'm feeling great. Just like Stan Lee would do. Let's make a press release that I feel amazing because... it was just a scare. Whatever. I'm 95. I have to be worried about everything that's happened to me. I'm getting old. What the fuck? What did you think?
He's been getting old for the past 40 years.
Yeah. He's old as shit. But what did you think when you saw that, Brando? Because I saw the headline and my heart sank. I was like, oh, God. Oh, no.
Well, I mean, by the time I heard about it, everything was already fine. There was something I saw on Facebook that some asshole created that about made my heart sink. Scrolling through Facebook, working on the computer. I'm waiting for something to get done, so I'm just scrolling. And I see a picture of Mark Hamill. And I see 1951 to 2018. And I went, huh? And below it said, alive and well.
Motherfuckers.
Oh.
Why are they so rude like that?
Dude, I'm about ready to kill somebody. I was like, no. Not today. Damn it.
Not today, Junior. Not today. It was a good day because now we have all this Marvel news to talk about, and luckily Stan Lee's not dead. So it's a win-win in my book. Just keeping it real with you. I have to be honest here.
It's always good. It's always a good day when Stan Lee doesn't die.
Yeah, like today is going to definitely be a good day. I'm pulling up the, where's that fucking rundown? Why does it always seem like when I need the rundown for our episode, it just dis-fucking-peers? Like, hey, man, I just need this rundown.
Funny?
Oh, cool.
You know what's really hilarious? You kind of got, okay, so you didn't get called out, but our good friend Tyler from Podcastrophe noticed that that you kind of have like this thing on JIC where it's like, Brando, did you hear about this? And I go, no. And you go, let me find it.
It's funny because today I actually have all of my articles pulled up. Like I'm very well prepared on the laptop. However, I just could not. My phone is dead, so I didn't have the list of the rundown I sent you. And I was like, shit, I got to access this through the computer, which is not my typical thing. So sorry, Tyler. That's not a bad thing to get called out for. Hey, Brandon, did you hear about this thing? Let me go. Sorry, folks. I don't mean to be like that. That's just who I am as a person. You're going to have to fucking accept it or find another podfather. God damn it,
Dude, and it's funny because it didn't really resonate with me either. But then when he said it, I'm like, holy crap, you're right. he never has the article pulled up because he's like, yeah, dude, I read about that. Let me go find it so I can actually talk about it. And then
but I'm better about this now.
Well, like on the last episode, you like, Brando, talk. And I'm just like, got nothing this week, folks, on the throwing the ball to Brando. And you chucked it, and I hadn't even moved. Like it's almost like you said hike, and I thought you said something else entirely.
I said hike. You went, wait, what? And then the ball was already
and
5
you threw
yards.
it where I was going to be, but I hadn't even moved yet. It's like you weren't there, and I'm like, I know.
Come back. Let's try this again. Come back. Let's try this again. Let's do this again. So, yeah, we've got Ant-Man and Wasp news. We did this last week. We talked about. Wait, was that last week or was that 2 weeks ago? The penis. When was that? When did that happen in my timeline? On her chest.
Oh yes, the Yes, you like we.
That was
we
2
talked
episodes
about
ago.
This was it last week or last week? The like the penis, and I'm like, I don't recall talking about penis with you in my recent memory.
I said Ant-Man and the Wasp first, though, because I thought that would resonate with you. As
It took me a second
hey.
to remember the fact that we were talking about the armor.
Yeah, we were talking about that Ant-Man and the Wasp armor, but we finally got an official trailer. Brandon, did you see this trailer?
Yes.
What do you think?
It looks pretty decent.
It looks very interesting. Some really cool shots. It's really hype train. Another thing that we've learned within all of this is that every future sequel is a sequel to something else also, because this is also kind of a Captain America sequel now.
Yeah, because the plot is set up as a response to Civil War.
It's almost exactly like Homecoming in that regard.
Yes.
Speaking of that, I would love if those two had interaction on the good side before they get to the end of Phase 4. Wow, we're almost at the end of Phase 4 already of the MCU. That's crazy to think about. Like, just got in it, we're already half over. Shit. But I loved this trailer, Brando. There's so many different things we could discuss here. You know, it obviously starts with Scott Lang asking Hope, like, if I would have asked you to help when Cap asked to help, would you have helped me? And she's like, well, I guess we would not ever know because you didn't ask me. But if you would have asked me, you wouldn't have got caught. Because, of course, you've got Falcon and Ant-Man. I'm trying to think who else gets tied up in that. Barton? Is Hawkeye one of the other ones that gets put in the rift? Because it's Civil War. It's Falcon, Ant-Man,
Scarlet.
Scarlet Witch is the other one, yeah. Because yep, and then and then Barton. That's right. So, I liked this. I will say that the usage of the shrinking tech, big and small, I love how they're doing that. You've got Hank Pym has the building, and he shrinks it down, and it's his briefcase. Where are the columns for the handles on that briefcase in that giant-ass building, and why does no one ask? Because that's the truth. That's one thing, the only thing I couldn't escape. I was like, wait a minute. That's a fucking handle that retracts. That means there's got to be a spot for it to retract.
That means this building has wheels, giant wheels somewhere.
It does. That or what we didn't see is like, I don't know. I have no idea how to fucking explain how the fuck they would rectify giant-ass wheels on that building. But another thing, they don't really feature it a lot, but the villain of this movie is going to be Ghost. You see him for like a tenth of a frame. He's real brief. He kind of looks like one of the siphon filter dudes. Do you remember him in the trailer?
A siphon filter dude?
Kind of, yeah, because it's got like the goggly thing, tri-goggly thing, but it's like a mask. Did you see him?
Maybe. I watched the trailer like way earlier this week. When you said siphon filter dude, and I'm thinking like an agent.
If you were to look up Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer, you will immediately know what I am speaking upon.
Because you're talking about like
seconds.
night vision goggles, right?
Kinda, yeah. It's kind of like night vision goggles on his mask, but it's not.
Like, I would actually
goggles.
probably more associate that with Splinter Cell.
Yeah, that's true too. I was just thinking.
I like how I'm like nitpicking about that, dude. I thought this trailer was like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids on crack.
Yes. Oh my God, that's such a great way to describe it. And God, some of the action. What did you think about Wasp running on that knife in the final scene?
I really dig. It's doing a good job of taking what they've already established in the first Ant-Man film and just taking it to the next level, because that's something that you've got to think it when you're doing all of these Marvel films. Yes, this movie is a sequel to both movies in a sense, because you have to have understood that Ant-Man was involved with the Civil War thing, and that has directly influenced and affected the other characters in this movie. So But when you're thinking about, well, we need to make this movie, you have to stop thinking about the overall and say, this is an Ant-Man movie. So therefore, everything within this should be according as such. You know, it needs to align itself within the Ant-Man universe. Like, it can't be thinking about what's going on over here. It can't be trying to do like, well, we're going to do this over here. No. Focus on what this is. And that would be the same thing for a Doctor Strange sequel. It's got to do that again, but more here. It can't bother what's going on in other areas. You can have cameos, but the overall things have to be further developed upon, even if they've appeared elsewhere.
I think one thing we're going to build from this movie is that Hope Van Dyne is like really a badass. Like, she's going to put the suit on and already be amazing at being a superhero. And Scott's going to be like, what the fuck is this? Like, come on, man. This is no... you guys saw how much work I put into this. You saw me run into that door like fucking 237 million goddamn times because I couldn't fit through the tiny keyhole, you know? So, like, when he sees Hope doing it so flawlessly and so effortlessly, he's going to just be like, shit, now I have to step my game up. And now I feel like I can't protect her because she's kind of protecting me. And that's going to force him to have to level his game up, I think. So that's going to be an interesting play on, you know, those two being a team and the dynamic of it being kind of more of a rom-com style of movie. You've got Michelle Pfeiffer did not appear in the trailer at all, but she is in this movie as Janet Van Dyne. We did see a teaser for the Quantum Realm, which leads me to believe we're going subatomic to find Janet Van Dyne before this movie is done.
I'm down.
Like, they'll sprinkle her with some flashbacks, and then before the movie is over, it'll become to the resolve that they need her back for whatever fucking reason. And then, of course, what will time have done to her being in the quantum realm subatomic for 50-plus years?
Time is evil, man. Time is evil.
And time doesn't exist in that realm, you know?
Well, then she wouldn't have aged.
That's creepy to fucking think about, bro. She comes out all young and hot. She's like, Hank, what happened to you, you old schlub? Like, what the fuck?
She's walking out and fucking, Coolio's Gangster's Paradise is playing in the background.
Spending most our lives living in the Amish. Wait, that's the wrong one. Wrong one. Sorry, Weird Al.
I like how you
My
were
bad.
like, dude, you're like, octave is like way up here, and Coolio's just way down here.
Yeah, I did that intentionally, of course. But one thing I also love about this trailer is they kind of play on a similar gag from the first movie, a strange child's inanimate object getting supersized. And, of course, it's the, what do you call it, the Hello Kitty Pez dispenser.
Yeah. Gets
all huge, and the bicycle, like the motorcyclist goes under it. That's a pretty epic-looking shot there. I'm really stoked for this movie, Brando. It's going to come, hopefully it's an uplifting movie on the heels of what seems to be like going to be a pretty much a downer Avengers movie, leaving a lot of people walking away with that Empire Strikes Back feeling, I think.
I hope so. I thoroughly hope that people just get their asses kicked and dead and all this kind of stuff happens.
Yeah, I think that Black Widow is for sure on my list of she's definitely dying in the Avengers movie, and that's why they gave her a solo movie, because they can just do a prequel movie with her and tell an interesting story and wrap it up. Done. Boom.
We'll
Handled.
definitely see. We'll see who's on the chopping block.
Ooh, I like that. I love that show, Chopped. Do you watch Chopped?
Nope.
You don't watch Chopped? That's crazy. It's shocking to me. It's a great show. It's cooking. It's great. It's fun. I love it. Anyways, let's move on to some more Marvel news here, and this is going to kind of like spiral into more Marvel news and then more Marvel news, because that's kind of what we got today. Brando, they did... So a couple things happened. They've had some early screeners for Black Panther, and then they also had the red carpet for Black Panther, all-encompassing. From this, here's a couple things we know. Officially, highest pre-sale movie in history, Black Panther. It has outpaced Batman vs. Superman and officially just slayed that as what used to be the king for pre-sale tickets is no more. It is now Black Panther, which is incredible. You would think Star Wars would be pre-sale, but maybe not. I don't know. I will say this. I have so I have a lot of articles about Black Panther up, and I just want to say, man, that I know that you're not all about the hype train of our existence, but if everybody's commentary on this movie is for real, I'm genuinely looking forward to seeing Black Panther here in a couple short weeks, and we're going to obviously be reviewing that soon here. Some people are saying that it's a masterpiece, that Black Panther is a masterpiece, saying, okay, I'm going to try to read as many of these different, reactions as possible. So this is from Natasha Alfred. It looks like she's got a couple different things she's pressed, it looks like, on Twitter here. So she says there's going to be 1,000 think pieces about Black Panther, the movie, reviews, and reactions, but if any of them are bad, I'm really not interested in debating or convincing people they're wrong. I just want everyone to understand how Michael B. Jordan, every time he appeared on screen, the audience was shook. So I've heard, and that's a theme I've heard commonly through since these screeners and stuff have come out, is that Black Panther, Killmonger, Eric Killmonger, which is Michael B. Jordan, is maybe the best villain that has been in the MCU to date, because it's just so grounded in reality. The nuances and details in the Black Panther storyline are impeccable. I didn't feel pandered to, stereotyped, or turned off. I felt incredible pride at every turn at these fictional characters. Like, that's a real accomplishment. Someone says, honestly, Marvel Studios keeps raising the bar. Black Panther was the most lit movie I've seen in ages. It's more about a conflicted man trying to figure out his place in the world than a superhero skig fest. Believable characters all around and some amazing action. Eric Eisenberg says, I love Black Panther. I had so much love for Black Panther. The exploration of Wakanda is phenomenal. Eric Killmonger is unquestionably one of Marvel's best villains and manages to be both fun and dramatic. Can't wait to see it again. Another person says Marvel Studios continues their streak. Best looking and sounding films. Oh, and this is 110% a Ryan Coogler film. He's the director. So wow, Black Panther is freaking amazing. The cast, visual, soundtrack, I genuinely loved it. I need to see this again. Brandon, what do you think about all this hype train? Hype train, hype train, hype train.
I am intrigued at the fact that the movie is titled Black Panther, and the director's last name is almost Cougar.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, Coogler.
Coogler is like
Coogler.
I'm like, and I'm just listening to what you're saying, and I the first thing I thought it was, those are almost both cats.
Here's somebody who comes from your perspective, Brando. They said, I tried really hard to keep my expectations low, but Black Panther was every bit as good as I hoped it would be.
And that's good. I've learned that I can't get myself too hyped up for a lot of movies.
Yeah, you just got to be chill about it, yeah?
We'll see, and that's the thing, is that I have a very bad habit of, there are some movies where I cannot turn my brain off. And I start noticing film flaws. Not just like story flaws within the film.
Yeah.
And that can be distracting. It's difficult, especially when you're looking at something, and when I go to the movies, I try to turn that brain off. I try to do that for my first viewing. Try to do it all. Try to turn it off. When I'm sitting at home and that's my first viewing of it, that can be a bad thing, because maybe I'm more harsh on it than what I should be. So
yeah, and sometimes movies take a couple watch-throughs to really get all the nuances and everything they're trying to accomplish within a plot that sometimes can seem really jarring and not make a whole hell of a lot of sense. One thing, it's interesting, I don't know if you know about this, but do you know who Octavia Spencer is?
Nope.
She's an Academy Award winning, and I think also, she's been nominated for sure, and I think she's won a couple of them, actress. She was in she's a comedian actually. She did this movie Dinner for Schmucks with Steve Carell, and it was really funny or whatever. But then she's done some more serious stuff. She did Hidden Figures last year in the Oscars and whatnot. Anyways, she's been going to places in her community with the troubled youths of America, and she has been buying up literally every seat to Black Panther screenings and then going and giving tickets to these lesser fortunate kids because she believes so much in the message of this movie and how you can come from nothing and make yourself your own person that she's been just like, seriously, everyone who thinks they don't have a chance in life, go see this movie because it's going to give you a new perspective and outlook. And that's a cool thing to think about.
Cool.
Brando, did you hear the other stuff that went on with Black Panther, though, on the flip side?
Do you have it pulled up?
I already have it pulled up, actually. I'm already all good to go. I already know what I'm talking about here.
All right. No, because I don't know where you're going.
Oh, okay, good.
I had to ask.
So there are a bunch of DC fans who've created a Facebook group with the intent, and I'm saying this on air now so any of our listeners can have this in the back of their mind if shit starts to get a little bit wonky here in a couple weeks when Black Panther officially drops and the Rotten Tomatoes score officially comes out. There's actually been a group of DC fanboys who have created a Facebook group that is bomb the Black Panther Rotten Tomatoes review. And it's just like, people sign up here and we're going to all go and give this movie shitty reviews because fuck Marvel. That's literally their only goal, is to fucking hate on Marvel. It's ridiculous. Like, look, I'm 30 fucking years old and just like both. Like, both have things to offer people. DC is fucking cool. Batman is the shit. Flash is awesome. Superman's cool. Green Lantern's fucking awesome. Fucking Marvel's the shit. Like, you look, I mean, they both have things that are cool. Motherfuckers in this world drink both Coke and Pepsi, and they can't fucking both agree that Marvel and DC can go together. Like, you go to both fucking Burger King and McDonald's. You can have DC and fucking Marvel. The fact that there are people who are actually trying to actively bomb this movie because they are so motherfucking butthurt over the fact that their Justice Leagues and their BVSs got shit scores from critics. And look, Justice League got decent reviews from the audience. The audience actually liked that movie, and that's a great thing. That's everything moving in the right fucking direction. But when you see shit like this, and Rotten Tomatoes has to come out and say, look, we have people that monitor stuff, and slander is not going to be tolerated, you literally just told them, as long as you don't slander this movie, we're going to let your review stay up. So they can just be like, I didn't really personally care for this movie, 1 star, even if they never even fucking saw it. Like, I'm starting to really hate the internet and haters. I'm a hater of haters.
Down with Mountain Dew. Milliola forever.
Oh, see, that's another great debate. Sierra Mist or Sprite, bro?
Well, Sierra Mist doesn't exist anymore in its namesake, so.
Really? I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. It's now called Twist Mist.
Really? I was not aware. See, that's how far behind I am, folks. I didn't know Twist Mist was a fucking thing.
Yeah, there's this
dumbass
old dude was circling the soda aisle at Walmart, and he's like, Where's my Sierra Mist at here? I've been buying that stuff for years now, and I just can't find my Sierra Mist. And I'm looking all around, and Twist Mist sounds so
almost sounds like Christmas.
It almost sounds like Sam's Cola knockoff of Sierra Mist or 7-Up.
Yeah.
Or Sprite. So I look up on my good friend, Google, and I find that, and I let this old gentleman know, excuse me, sir, they've actually just rebranded Sierra Mist into Twist Mist. If you actually look on the box, it's still, manufactured by PepsiCo, so it's still the same. And he's like, well, thank you there, young man. I really appreciate your help. And then he scooted on his way because he was riding one of those little power scooters.
Hello, Google, my old friend. I've got a question yet again.
So this whole thing with the whole bombing stuff with bad reviews reminds me of a similar thing that happened with The Last Jedi, because that was happening with that movie too.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely my point. Bring it up. Preach, brother, preach.
So it's petty. It's ridiculous.
It's petty.
And, in this case, it's DC fanboys, but in other cases, it's like, well, I hate this movie, and I want to mobilize other people to hate this movie, too. And it's, why can't you just let people enjoy, what it is? Because just because you like that movie may not mean I might not like it. But I'm not going to, hate it on the fact that you like that movie.
Here's a thought. You like what you fucking like, bro. And I'm going to sit over here and like what I fucking like, bro. And if your likes aren't exactly my likes, that's cool. Because guess what? You're not fucking me, Brando. You're not me, dude. And that's what I'm trying to say. Everybody just respect each other equally. It's not that hard.
I'm not you, Nate. I'm not fucking you.
Oh, God, that sounds so much worse. It sounded so much. Oh, Jesus. I'm going to have to make a button, and I already hear how it's going to go, and it's going to be awful and hilarious all at once, and then it's going to appear at some point. It's going to happen.
Do you remember do you remember this podcast? It was the first podcast I ever got into. It was the All Gen Gamers, and for one of the anniversary episodes, like the 50 or 100, some fan went through their episodes and found noises, just general sayings. It made it sound like they were all having an orgy together. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, right there in the hole. Just goes right there. Yeah, man. Oh, wow, so you're doing it like that, huh? It's just like, yeah. Oh, yeah, you bet your ass I am. It was just all
Let me tell you, Brando.
It was all edited together.
If one of our fans did that with this show, they would have a fucking field day with 177 episodes. That's a scary thing to actually contemplate someone doing. Like, fuck, what have we done and said that we can't take back now? Because it lives forever on the interwebs.
I feel asleep.
That's a great reference. You just posted that. That's like a cool throwback.
I think
neat to do.
I think I want to start doing that. Like every Thursday, we'll toss back an old retro or old episode. It's funny because there was some discussion in group talk, and I'm sitting there trying to eat my dinner, and my phone's going, and I'm just like, what the hell's going on today, man? And it's like 9:30 at night, And so I'm looking at it, and of course you said something that was worth saying, and then the rest of it was like. So I actually purposely I just saw that on like what you posted like 5 years ago, and I'm like, I feel asleep. And then actually, Nate, you were actually wrong on the name of the episode that appeared on.
Yeah, because it was in holiday bullshit and not
I Am Taco.
I Am Taco.
But to your credit, they were both recorded back to back.
It was the same day, folks. We did a fucking a cappella intro for our show that day.
We did, and it was funny.
It was great. It was totally unplanned, and it just one of those moments you can't recreate ever. No. God, that was so groovy. There's more stuff to talk about, though, Brando. Let's get back into this news. Less hype train. I want your thoughts on this because I think it's definitely interesting to note. Kevin Feige recently came out, Brando, and said, if this deal with Disney goes through with Fox purchase, then we can start actually working on incorporating these characters like the Fantastic Four, like the X-Men, into our universe. So it seems like right now they don't have officially anything. Mm-mm. Everything is still 100% in the air, and until Marvel and Disney hold high that Bill of Rights that says, we just bought Fox, you motherfuckers. Until that day happens, we're not going to get any news on an X-Men. We're not going to get any news on a possible Fantastic Four. What we're also not going to get is any new movies of those different genres. So the movies that are coming out now are probably going to be the swan songs across the board. For now, this is the last version of that Deadpool we'll have. Not that Ryan Reynolds will go away, but they'll have to take a small break. Maybe they can sneak him in and get a third movie in there before it's all too late, 2 years from now, hopefully, though, all this deal will be done. But Kevin Feige also said something else, and I really wanted to bring this home to you, of course. Let me find it in my articles. I have it pulled up, folks. I promise I didn't. Here we go. Kevin Feige addresses superhero fatigue. Because, people keep asking, when's the fatigue going to set in? Feige, when are we going to get sick of these movies you guys are putting out? The answer is never, you fucks. It's not going to happen. So, Kevin Feige says this: that's the reason we make the movies we make, and we make them the way we make them. For years, predating the history of Marvel Studios itself, people asked me about superhero fatigue and if it was a fad or a phase. I say, if the movies are all different, if they're all special, nobody will get tired of these things before we at Marvel Studios will, since we live and breathe these things 24 hours a day. You make films like Thor Ragnarok, like Homecoming, like Guardians of the Galaxy, certainly like Black Panther and the upcoming Infinity War, to keep it interesting and to change it up, and we will continue to do that. So they're very goal-oriented, and he said one last thing here. I think about it through 2019, through the movies we've already shot and are about to start filming. I'm hoping to deliver on everything we promised so far. So essentially, this is what I think is happening, Brando. The reason we've not got any official announcements on anything on the other side of the next Avengers movie, like they've said, placeholder, we're probably going to do another Spider-Man movie right after, in July of that same year, in 2019. Why none of that stuff has been announced yet is because if May 4th of 2019 comes around and Marvel successfully puts that movie out, Avengers 4, which would be, let's say we'll call it the Infinity Gauntlet, they will then have successfully said, hey, we're going to do this giant-ass list of movies in 2014. Look at this fucking list of movies we want to do. And actually carried their plan out to a T. So now, when the next phase gets announced and they do something like that, people go, holy shit, they're serious. And they're going to do this. And it's going to be amazing. And hopefully we can keep getting new characters and tons of different stuff here. But what do you think about the way Kevin Feige kind of worded that? No, as long as they're all special, as long as all the movies are special in their own way, then they're not all the same.
It's the kind of answer that I would expect him to say, seeing as how this is his business, and it would be detrimental for him to say anything about, like, there being any sort of thing. So I agree and disagree with him at the same time, because what are we going to do when we get to a certain point when we have to reboot a character? It's going to depend on how you reboot that character. We have a Batman now, but then, we're getting another Batman here soon, and it could be the one we know, it could be the one we don't know. We have 3 iterations of Spider-Man.
Yeah, we did.
And so, it's all in varying quality.
I don't know, man. It's strange because the thing, and I've said this is kind of like a sentiment. I run this back to Nerds of the Round Table 3 we just recently did, and Mike asked about superhero fatigue there, and the sentiment I shared was very simply, it is just the Western of the modern era. It's just Westerns had their own sub-style. And now we're in a point where superheroes are our Western because there are iconography, there are fucking gods, our Norse mythology, whatever. These are what we're looking up to, and to see these characters play on screen, and to see them do all these different interesting things, it's awesome. And sometimes you're gonna have flops, man. To assume when the MCU started it would be infallible would be a joke. You put out 19 different movies. You're probably going to have a couple flops in there. You're going to have a couple that are misunderstood. You're going to have a couple that are not liked. Happens. And that's just the fact. So, I don't know. With superhero fatigue, I don't really have a whole lot left to say. Did you see the Captain America shield thing? Did you? Have we?
I saw it, the little toy thing, yeah.
It's weird, right?
Well, I mean, it's going to have a placeholder until we get an actual shield back. But I wanted to add something to what you said about Feige commenting on the whole, Fox deal and how they're not looking at, incorporating these characters until they get that in, and how none of what they've announced through 2019, even if they got the characters today, that wouldn't change.
Yep. Because he wants to see the plan finalized. I think Spider-Man's the exception to the rule there, Brando, because he was a linchpin of needing him for the Civil War story. And they moved fucking mountains to make that happen. Because it was like,
I understand.
Shit.
I understand, but the temptation would be there. And, you would want to not do it, but then you were like, we may have a way to make something happen, either to hint towards it or to introduce something. And it was.
You're not going to tell people ahead of time, though.
Well, no. What I'm saying is, if you're going in and say in September or October of this year, they get X-Men, they get Fantastic Four, and they're free to do whatever they want with them. Mm-hmm. And you're saying, all right, so we got this and this and this and this, but we got to get through the next Avengers movie. Are you telling me that the temptation would not be there to try and start establishing these new characters for the next phase? Because they moved so fast in getting Spider-Man in Civil War. It was if you remember, it was getting down to the wire.
Yeah, they were trying to figure out if they were going to actually cast somebody to even be Spider-Man, and there was a short list of people that might get the role, and of course Tom Holland pulls it off and is now our Parker, and I think he's doing a swell job. I can't wait to see more from him. What was I going to say? I had a thing to tell you, my dude, and it just slips in my brain holes. Oh. You don't need to introduce anybody in the end of Avengers 4, right? And here's why. Let that face cool. If you're going to do a teaser for anything, you're going to do a setup for the next Spidey movie because it's the next thing on the docket, right? Brando, can I ask you a question that you might not know the answer to, and I'm not trying to question your comic book knowledge. This is more from a place of trying to see if you can get where I'm coming from. Do you know who was Parker's really good kid friend growing up in the comics?
Not a fan, no.
His name is Johnny Storm.
Okay.
So, why not have Johnny and Parker have interaction before any of the shit happens to Johnny, right? He's a normal sciencey kid. He meets Parker. He's just a side note in the next Spider-Man movie. And we get a tease for his journey. And, hey, Pete, I don't know when I'll see you again, man. I'm actually going to, I've been chosen. My sister is a part of this program, and this guy Richards has built this thing, and we're going to go do this fucking cool thing, and I don't know when we're going to come back, and then boom. You have the in for the Fantastic Four going about their business in a line, in a text. You don't have to do a crazy, huge setup. You have to do a lot of fucking dumb bullshit. So then when the actual official trailer and all that shit drops for an official Fantastic Four movie made by Marvel, fucking shut up and take all of my money because I'm there day one, no questions. I know when that comes out, when it happens, whenever they announce the director, and we're not even close to that point, Brando. I'm in to win it. They've done enough good in my book that I have to firmly believe that they will handle Fantastic Four with love and respect, and that is one of the few properties that has just been poorly handled overall, every iteration.
All we got to do is go back in time to a throwback episode of JIC and one of Angry Nate's first big rants.
Oh, yeah. I was very upset, Brando. Still have not officially watched a non-shitty cam version of that Fantastic Four movie, even years after. I've not watched a high-quality version of the movie. Maybe someday that's a riff tracks we could do for Patreon or something. And then just because have you seen it? You haven't seen the last Fantastic Four that Fox did?
No.
It's horse shit. Like, how you gonna spend an hour and change of the movie, and you did nothing, literally, for an hour and change in this movie, and then all of a sudden, oh shit, Victor Von Doom is in space, we have to go stop him, but his name is not Doom, but we also have powers, but he also has powers, and we trained to use all of our powers, but you didn't see us training to do any of our powers or become superheroes, but now we're going to go fight this guy in space for some reason. And that final fight happens in the last 20 minutes of this fucking stupid movie. Like, I can't get over it, man. So I'm hopeful. My hope is Marvel goes super old school. Make the first villain Mole Man. Make Doom a building character that you fucking take your time to get to. Take your time to make Victor Von Doom a crazy bastard that is unlike anything the MCU has seen before it. You know? He has to be. That's just how it has to go. But I don't know, man. I don't know if that's going to happen. That's all conjecture, I guess, as V would say. More stuff on the docket here. What do you think about this news that broke that Monday morning? So right now you might be driving to work. Guess what? At some point, right now, maybe this moment, who knows? You're going to get a little buzz on your phone. Zzz, 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 and it's going to say, hey, Solo, a Star Wars story trailer, dropped. Official first trailer from Disney and Lucasfilm Studios. And, yeah, man, what do you think? I can't believe they're not actually going to put something in a Super Bowl spot here. That's foolish, I think.
I don't necessarily agree. I think they kind of want to take this away from the Sunday pageantry and make it its own event. Disney's been doing that a lot lately, and on ABC.
You know what, actually, I did notice that, and the way you say that, you're right. They are trying to take away. I just feel like it might be a slight missed opportunity. Maybe they'll have a little teaser spot that'll be like a 10-second teaser spot they pay for or something. Like, tomorrow morning, AMC, full trailer reactions and shit. But, Brando, I wanted to tell you this. I know you're going to be at your job that morning, Monday morning, when that probably drops. Yeah, well, that's unfortunate. But what I'm going to do is I'll be up. I'll be alive. I'll be ready for that trailer. The moment it drops, I'm going to go Facebook Live and do a live reaction of what I think of this trailer. So check it out on the Journey into Comics Facebook at facebook.com/Journey into Comics podcast. Brando, the Ninja Turtles are different now.
They have new designs. They're all 4 different turtles.
What the fuck?
But it is a 2D art style.
Hashtag not my turtles.
And part of it, like the really harsh, jagged lines, remind me of Samurai Jack.
Okay.
So there's a positive
I can see it.
But they've also changed their weapons.
Dumb. How you going to do that?
Raph is now a snapping turtle.
Also dumb. Splinter looks dumb as hell, too. I do not understand that. He looks like something that Ren and Stimpy chewed up in an episode and spit out. Okay, April, you changed. Okay, whatever. April's cool. I don't really have a problem, but her bat looks like it glows. So, is her bat like the ooze? I'm confused by that. You've got Mikey with like a lightning bolt tattoo on his chest, like belly area. And weird drawings on his knee pads. Donnie looks like he's maybe from Siphon Filter again, but what we really mean is Splinter Cell. Looking at Leo, you only have 1 fucking sword? No. Leonardo, 2 katanas. It's like, you can't change it? That'd be like putting an R on Superman's chest. It's close enough. It's only 1 letter off. It's fucking close enough, you know.
He's Rupert, man.
No, I'm just saying they don't give a shit. He's still Superman, but they just put an R on his chest because they don't give that much of a
like
fuck.
Rupert, man. Was
if you go the other direction, he'd be Tuperman. Oh, more powerful than the hype train of our existence. He's Superman.
You can just go down the alphabet. Booperman.
Ooh, Booperman.
Big old letter B.
What about if it was C, he'd be Cooperman.
hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, shit. Oh, I'm going to die now. Also, all their weapons are fucking glowing. Did you see that picture?
I didn't pay that much close attention.
So their weapons are glowing with their auras almost. So like Raph's is pink, like his weapons are glowing pink. Leo's is like a light sky blue. Mikey's is actually yellow. And Donatello, I don't know how to describe what the fuck is happening to Donatello, Brandon. Hold on. I am officially perplexed at this fucking picture. What I'm seeing here looks like April is on a drone that has bicycle handles that are also shoulder pads that are holding Donatello, who is sitting Indian style all chill as fuck, floating high above the sky. What? Who was on LSD when they came up with this version of the Turtles? Like, what? I do not understand. And then also, why the fuck does Raph have the fucking Dragon Zord fucking coin on his belt? What? Like, do you see that? It looks different in this other picture, but the other picture, it looked like the dragon coin.
It looks different in this one, but it's not the same.
Well, no, there's two pictures. There's just a picture of Raphael by himself, but there's a picture of the four of them over a cityscape, above a bridge, jumping, and it's really weird. I don't know how to really explain it. And then that's where the weird hovery shit is happening.
Are they eating vegan pizza?
Oh, you brought it right up. Man, PETA wants them to eat vegan pizza. PETA say that modern kids are embracing vegan food, so why shouldn't modern Ninja Turtles? Vegan pizza is popular and it's healthy and far kinder to animals than old-fashioned dairy cheese pizza. PETA thinks it's something that Heroes in a Half Show would support. Guess what, Brando? They're a fucking cartoon! They are not real. They cannot... That does not make any sense. You don't... Gluten-free cartoons! What the fuck? I don't understand this. It's so confusing to me. It's like... PETA is just like always trying to do the next craziest fucking thing. Boob milk ice cream is one of their things, and that that still gets me to this day. Like, okay, I get it. Like, boobs are nice. I'm not gonna even play like I don't love them. They're amazing. However, I just to go back several, like 50 episodes or so. Anyways, PETA, dude, knock this shit off with your crazy shit. Next thing they're going to do is ask gummy bears to stop being bears because it's hurting the environment, man.
Well, I mean, that's discriminatory against bears.
Their bears are all shapes and sizes and of all colors.
Well, I mean, what about the gummy octopi?
What about, and then were we talking about this off air or was this on air? I can't remember, about the whole gummy worms in comparison to gummy bears, and if worms are really giant in the gummy world, because gummy bears in comparison are small and like gummy worms are more like snakes. Did we already do that on this show today? I can't remember. Was that off air?
That was off air.
Shit.
But then, like,
are you getting
what?
I was just asking if you were getting Revenge of the Yawns.
I'm starting to. I'm definitely starting to get Revenge of the Yawns.
Oh, shit.
Like every time I open my mouth, I'm like, ugh.
Open your mouth and shut your eyes.
What? No.
That was, was it? It sounds so much worse. Because I didn't finish it right away. That's how they used to.
Nate is dead. Nate is so dead. His face is so red.
That's not what I meant. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, okay. That's what they used to say to kids when they gave them medicine. Open your mouth, shut your eyes. You get ready for a big surprise or whatever. Then, of course, it sounds so much worse.
Dude, just stop. Dude, you're giving yourself a bigger shovel.
Oh, I have a huge shovel. It's massive. It's a great, massive, big shovel. I was looking to see if there was any other breaking news.
It's bigly.
That maybe we should cover. But do you want to read some fan Oh, Brando. I do have some news. Holy shit! Guess what? The Marvel and Sony deal might be off the table. Sony Entertainment might be up for sale, including the rights to Spider-Man. This is a recent report 2 hours ago coming from yourcomicbook.com, folks. Industry experts are speculating Sony films and television assets could be headed for sale following news that Kaz Hirai will step down from his position of chief executive, where he'll be replaced by chief financial officer Kenshihiro Yoshida. Yoshida is reportedly not too keen on entertainment business, one industry observer told Deadline, leading to the speculation that Sony is ready for a sale. Sony's stock closed up 6% on Friday, but there has been no official discussion of a sale, acquisition, or merger, folks. So that's all, again, a lot of conjecture here. I had another thing I just saw that I wanted to talk about, Brando, too, another little late-breaking news. We have some fan reactions to the Ninja Turtles. Shall I read?
Go ahead.
Okay, let's pull it up. Let me pull it up right now, Matt.
I like how you whispered in my ear.
Tyler, everybody who's listening. Tyler, I'm in your ear hole right now. Tyler, whether you're driving, wherever you are, don't cry for help, because it's all going to be all right, my friend. Just know that your friends love you and that you're in a good place. That's all I must say to you. So let's get some fan reactions here. Rise of the Teenage Mutant. Oh, my God, this is great. This is comedy gold from the jump. Josh Burke says, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles looks like nobody learned from the fiasco that is Teen Titans Go. Stop ruining our childhoods. AJ Raven says, I really like the new characters designs. Really excited about the different action figures and collectibles they'll inspire. Okay. So that's a little less awful. So, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja. Okay, trying to look here. When they get revealed, okay, that's just another GIF. People, why don't they? Okay, looking forward to everyone hating Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles off the art to love it and act like they never were angry about change, just like last time. So if you don't know, the last Turtles show that came out was actually really good, and I did like it, and I didn't mind the art style. I thought it was just fine. But there were people that hated on the art, and then, of course, the show was really good and had a pretty interesting story. So what? They changed how fucking Krang looked. It doesn't matter. This guy voicing Raphael will be the leader of the team for the first time this season. So Raph is the leader, and it's not Leo that's leading the Turtles. That's weird. Let's see here. I freaking love everything I'm hearing and seeing about Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Seriously excited. So I guess some people are just overly stoked.
Yeah, so far there's been no negativity.
As soon as you say that, I just found the one. Nope, not happy. These aren't turtles, they're abominations. And why is Splinter a mongoose? Let's see. Someone else say, Dear TMNT fandom who is displeased by the new Desing. They did not spell design right. They said Desing. Please consider that it's a new show with new elements, but it does not change it in a very high level. Please respect the directors, artists, and writers who are working on the show. Please remember that with the early show, there was ranting and disgust because of the story plots. Please remember that this show would be watch your little kid's sister, brother, you know. Please respect the fans who do like it. Some of them could get really hurt by someone's harsh words, and mostly please give a chance watching the first episode in September before to decide if you like it or not. I don't mean this shit on somebody's bad grammar, but what the fuck? That was awful. Oh, man.
And they have their Silly Sally skin. Turtles are vertebrates, and they have.
And they are sliming.
Oh my god, dude! That was an abomination of the English language.
It absolutely was. It was weak, not cool. Also, we're talking about cartoon news. I feel like it's worth mentioning. We didn't mention it last week. Dragon Ball Super is ending, Brando.
Yeah, it's ending in March. It's only got a few episodes left.
Just out of nowhere, they decided it's time to wrap it up.
They're doing another movie. I guess it might be out by Christmas time. So we don't know exactly the end, like the end game here. So.
But this isn't the end of Dragon Ball as we know it, because they also said, look, Dragon Ball is something that's been going on forever. We love it. We have some plans. We have some ideas. It just means that this is the end of the Dragon Ball Super story. That's what we planned for. We have other stuff we're working on. You guys will be filled in when we're ready to let you know what the fuck is going on. So I'm really excited. So far, everything I've seen on Dragon Ball Super when I was watching it was awesome. I got way far behind because of life. But that's, whatever. Not that bad. Whoa! Justice League 4K Blu-ray Japanese cover shows the team in front of future Hall of Justice. That's late breaking. What? Interesting. It is in front of what looks like it's going to be the Hall of Justice. Weird, but it's actually just Wayne Manor. It's definitely just Wayne Manor because there's a still big W. So that's misleading, folks. That's the kind of shit I'm not down with. That's a misleading ass headline. I couldn't think of the word. But let's see. When we'll trying to look at all these different things. This year's the 25th anniversary of something, Brando. Did you know this? Do. Mighty Morphin, 25 years old this year.
I'm old now.
Damn, right?
That shit just makes me feel old.
God, I loved Power Rangers. There's a couple little articles popping up here towards the end of the episode here, Brando, but I don't know if they're worth really mentioning. Batman Ninja, the animated movie, got a rating. Probably guessing PG-13. I'm not going to click on it. I'll click on it, whatever.
You're killing me tonight, dude.
PG-13 is the answer. It is a PG-13 film. I'm not going to click on it. Let me just click on it. I don't know why I did that. Sometimes I think going too long not talking to you fries my brain, too, and then when we do talk, I'm just mush. It's like, blah, 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 blah. Wow, holy shit. Black Panther forecasted to reach $400 million at domestic box office. So lifetime, they expect it to bring almost $500 million in U.S. alone. Pretty damn good, I think. Let's see. There's nothing really, Brando. I don't really have much left, man. Is there anything else you wanted to add to this week's episode? Like we were talking about earlier in this episode, things are kind of light. There's not a whole lot of shit.
Not much really going on, man. And usually that's the way it is, like kind of coming into the, into the new year and everything like that. So.
What? That could be interesting. Oh, you know what we're getting next week, Brando? Next week's JIC will be especially awesome. We will be talking about the next issue of The Walking Dead. Gonna have to officially have discussion on what the solo trailer ends up being like. A lot of other stuff to look forward to, folks. However, do you want me to go ahead and wrap this one, Brando? Is that what you're thinking?
I think we had a good little giggle-filled episode here.
Yeah, and Hasbro released interesting. Those look like comic book and tell me nothing about the movie. See, that misleading shit. Anyways, all right, folks. Well, as always, you may check out the Journey into Comics Network and the Journey into Comics podcast at journeyintocomics.com. Of course, you're getting 9 of our 10 shows there. That's Journey into Comics, Foodies Watching Movies, the Voice Survival podcast. You got Butt Stuff, Literature podcast, Brews with Dudes, Podcastrophe, The Poor Rapport, Journey into Wrestling. Am I missing one? Did I miss somebody? I feel like I missed somebody. Oh, you can go to GameAddictsPodcast.com and get my homie Brando's other show. The Game Addicts are kicking ass over there and taking names. They're on their way to 100 episodes this year, so join them now and get in before they get too big for your britches. And, IGN's calling them up and saying, hey, we need you guys to cover the fucking E3. We want the Game Addicts. That's what we want, folks. Always check us out on all the different social medias, whether it's Facebook at Journey into Comics Podcast, or Instagram at Journey into Comics, or Twitter, JIC Network. You can get us on YouTube at Journey into Comics. And as always, check us out on all the different all the different podcasting platforms, whether it's iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music, Spotify. And I think that's going to do it, Brando. There's only one other place people can go, and that's to patreon.com/Journey into Comics. $1 gives you early access. $3 gives you early access and exclusive content like The Road to Infinity War. This week it will be me reviewing the amazing movie, The First Avengers, with Veronica. Talking about all kinds of stuff there, so make sure to check that out on Wednesday. Go sign up for $3. Get yourself early access. You're going to get all these. We're doing every MCU movie on the way to the Infinity War, Brando. It might bring some controversy before it's all said and done.
It may so, man, because we all have differing opinions about a lot of different things. I'm looking forward to recording a review tomorrow. Hopefully, that'll be the first Game Addicts review of Thor: The Dark World. The other one we're doing is Ant-Man. I'm really excited about that as well. And, of course, for Journey into Comics, we will be doing Thor Ragnarok here, leading on to. And, it's really cool because along with the shows doing this, we're also crossing some bridges and having some cool team-ups with people. Like, for example, I did a review of The Incredible Hulk with on literature with Joanna, and I've actually never podcasted with Joanna one-on-one before.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
It was a good experience.
Yeah, it was really cool. So, it's going to be really cool, again, to, get together. I've heard rumblings about some more going on, but we'll have to see how it kind of goes down.
Yeah, man, there's lots of ideas and thoughts we can do, and I know AP brought up a concept that he wanted to run by us with future Patreon things, and doing the Road Out of Infinity War featuring all the non-MCU movies. I don't know if we'll actually tackle that, but I love the concept of that. I think that's going to do it, as I keep saying, folks. So, as always, for Journey into Comics, this was episode 177, the hype train of our existence. And I have been Nate.
I've been Brando.
And do yourselves a favor. Sit down, relax, unzip your brain, open up your skull cap, and fill your brains with shit. Later.